Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about. Oh, what are we doing here? What do they think of you? So, somebody that you know, what do they think of you? We're doing a comprehensive list here of bosses, partners, crushes, coworkers, friends, family, enemies. Okay, so whatever comes through. If you're hoping for a crush and we're just talking about enemies, then you might be in a different pile or your guides didn't come through today. So that's what we're gonna do. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is, your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice or just simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. I am searching for cards here. Okay. Pretty sure that this tarot deck we're using today is this site right here. Okay. There's not a box. And then there's also another set of cards we are using today. The backs look like this. And all of their information, yikes, is right here. Okay. So if you like either of those decks and you want to check out those sellers, you may. And then we're also going to use this deck right here. You can get this anywhere. And this deck, you also have to go on Etsy. And be careful of counterfeit. This particular deck, this is an older edition, so it looks a little different. Alrighty, so we're now going to live shuffle all about what do these people think of you, what are they thinking right now. This could be anybody that you know that is on your mind. Alright, getting started on shuffling. Oh my, that's somebody's. That's for everyone. I'll grab that in a moment. You guys also got another collective right here. And the rest of yours are right here. Oh, look at that. There, all right. Okay, collective. There's another collective for all of you on the floor. I'm gonna make this pretty, and then I'll put some little things out for you to choose your groups in just a moment. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so here are our piles. And then to choose, we'll do group number 1. Give me this little Christmas tree here. Ooh. Group number 2. Ooh, you can be this little hippo I found. It's like an old 1950s house hippo. If you know what a house hippo is, you know. But anyway, I never thought I would have a hippo, but I don't really collect antiques or figurines of any sort, but here we are. Group 3, give me this little green Christmas tree. And group 4, give me this little red one. right, go ahead and pause if you need. I doubt you need more time. We'll see you in your individual readings. Bye-bye. Okay, so some collective cards fell out for y'all together. These are like blessing cards. I can't remember the title because they didn't come with a box. They came with that bag. So if you are interested, they sell these on Etsy, and their info is in the introduction where I show you the cards boxes if I have them. I don't have these, so I did show their website and their Etsy link. Anyway. Collective stuff. So these are like blessings. I feel like what these were speaking to me as, and why I chose them to be in this group, is when we're looking at what people think about us, a lot of times we tend to worry more about the negativity and the, what negative things are people thinking about us. And I want these to be about who do we focus on that is looking at us in a good way. So I have an inkling that's what these are going to be, but let's just look and see what they say. Okay, we have tidings of comfort. Comfort and joy are found in the simple moments of love and connections. Reach out to those who matter most and let them know how much they mean to you. Aw. Some of you, this cat thing might be significant. The snowman might be significant. The little house might look like somebody's house. The tree might look like somebody's tree, etc. and so forth. I call those Easter eggs. I feel like some of you are kind of picking and choosing who you let into your world this at the time that you're watching this, whether that's during the Christmas season or no. I am feeling a lot of family vibes, but I'm feeling like for some of you this is all around, like, and that would make sense because this is for the collective. Just all around different, like, bosses, partners, crushes, coworkers, families, friends, enemies, etc. Of you really taking the time to not actually write out a list, but you've got this thing in your head of this is who I'm letting in, this is who I'm not letting in. Other things. Okay, I want to read the other one and see. We'll see if there's more. Okay. Starry midnight. Wee shadow. As stars shine bright against the midnight sky, so too do your dreams sparkle with hope and potential. Hold your dreams up close. I'm saying that because I can't see. And trust that the universe is aligning to make them a reality. Okay. I'm feeling Christmas miracle kind of vibe. Which I like. Yeah, Christmas miracles. I had a couple of things pop up that felt a little miraculous to me in the last couple of weeks, and just little things, but every little bit helps these days, right? And so, yeah, I feel like that's coming through for the collective here as well, that you're all getting some kind of unexpected blessing. Some kind of a dream or wish fulfillment is going to come true this time that you're watching this. Okay. We're going to move into your individual readings. Bye-bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked this little green Christmas tree, let's go ahead and look at what your overall energy is for the people you're thinking about. I feel like these cards are going to kind of give us an indication of the people who are thinking about you, and we'll get a sense of if you're in the right pile by looking at these, and then we'll get into some tarot over here. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. What do I want to start with? Telling stories number 38. What words so tender can be spoken so bravely unless they are true from the truest of words? Okay. Something super specific is coming in with somebody that's watching this group. So this is a major confirmation for you. Family, some sort of family like discussion or a family like lie you found out about, or something along those lines. And they know you know, and you want to know what their reaction is to you knowing. Okay. What words so tender can be spoken so bravely unless they are true from the truest of words? I feel like you've made yourself clear to these people that you don't care if, I feel like somebody said something to you like, we didn't tell you because we didn't want you to get hurt, kind of thing. And so that could be a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lie. It could just be a withholding of information. But I feel like for some of you, it was like kind of you got left out of the loop somehow. So I hate that feeling. I hate that for you. And I feel like that person or people that are resonating with that sucks. So definitely a family vibe. There is a grandma in this picture that might be relevant to someone. Siblings are present. They look like twins almost. Well, maybe one's like on the lap and one's not. So that kind of indicates that this one is older maybe. But definitely siblings, right? The story of the little match girl is coming into my mind. That may be relevant to some of you. And you just wanted them to be straight with you. Okay, remember the collective message that you also got, that comfort energy, right? Simplest moments of love and connection. I feel like you have a lot of, even when your family is not quite there for you, I'm still talking to that specific group here, that you have little pockets of support in other areas that are very nice and uplifting. And it sucks that they're not around you all the time, but at the same time, it's a blessing that they're there at all. So like, I also got like a flash of like support groups of some sort, religious gathering or any gathering, a book club, or, you know, that kind of thing, a support group, those types of like support energy. A corner store person that you see every day that brightens your day and is a blessing to see, etc. Sorry. I don't know if that's specific to the people that were having the family issues, but, you know, this is messages that coming in. Okay. And if there's something that you're wishing for, you know, remember that you're going to get some kind of a wish fulfillment. I don't know if it's going to be connected to the bigger pictures here or if it's, you know, or connected to what they think of you, but something's coming for you soon. I feel like it'll be between now and like this week, next week, that kind of energy. Thank you. Okay, what next? Hope. Oh. I feel like somebody's been waiting for something since like October or November. And that message is coming in really clear for you that there's some kind of hope coming in. I feel like there's some kind of a hope of rekindling with family. Okay, Spirit, is there anything else besides the family energy? Possibly like friends, support family. Yes, okay, thank you. What else? So people who feel like family. Cozy fireplace. Find comfort in the warmth of home and loved ones. Just as the fire brings heat to the cold, love will bring light and warmth to your soul. Okay, so I was watching this movie earlier. I don't think I'm going to finish it because it's really sad and I don't want to cry. I watched the quirky fun parts and now I'm going to like not watch the sad parts, but it's a great little flick and they're kind of like having a little outcast, like Thanksgiving, a little outcast Christmas, rather than going to the stuffy one that they didn't want to go to. That kind of energy came through just now. I feel like some of you are going to have like an orphan Christmas where maybe you aren't around family, and some of you might, that energy that was coming through of being picky about who you let around you, those who matter most, that is also another message coming through with this card. Of like, I have some of you are like, I'm staying home with my pets. More power to you. Okay. I feel really warm, wonderful things coming for you. As far as like what the people think about you, it generally feels like family to me. Or people who feel like family to you or that close, and you have like a support network of people who are maybe a little less expected from the norm. But they do kind of give you a sense of what you need. And I feel like your guides are kind of saying with this card that like there's always hope that like you'll get back to this kind of feeling of bonding of some sort, that there's all kinds of families that you can make together. I am feeling a lot of sibling vibes with these kids here, so some of you might be wondering what your siblings are thinking. Some of you might be wondering what your elders are thinking about you as siblings, like your parents or your grandparents. I'm feeling a lot of grandparent vibes because grandma there. Some of you feel excluded. I'm getting a little bit of black sheep energy, perhaps. Like you're out here and then there's 2 golden children over there. I'm feeling that for someone. These are just scenarios that are coming through to let you know you're in the right pile. And some of you are really like looking forward to letting go and not being around all that, like kind of embracing being on your own and building your own little family, even if your family is the snowman you built for your cats and they like to watch it and birds land on it and stuff, and you're like, that's my family now. It's way better. We watch everything I want on TV and eat all the snacks that I like. Okay. And then some of you, there's hope that you'll get back to that you're going to make it through this isolation period of some sort. What do they think about you? Let's find out with some tarot. These are the sibling energies that I'm getting. So if some of you are wondering about what your sibling thinks of you, I'm getting the 2 of Cups. Some of you have like a really, really supportive sibling that thinks the world of you. And I feel like some of you are like, yeah, and that's not who I'm wondering about. I'm wondering about some other family member, and that's fine. We'll maybe get there, we maybe won't. It depends on if the message comes through. I'm sorry. But right now, that's what's coming through right here is a very like close bonded sibling situation. There's a lot of brother and sister vibe, although it doesn't have to be, you know, but there is a like strong brother sister, close in age kind of vibe, as well as being on the outskirts while you're watching this other people, you know, be all happy together and whatnot. What they think of you. I'm feeling like your siblings, for the most part, there's a lot of love here. So even if you're like, there's no way they told me they hated me or whatever, like, there's still different layers of love that I'm seeing. So there's some kind of deep, deep bond between y'all, even if you feel like you're outcasted. Even if that's just trauma bonding or whatever, like, and then they're all over here having a good time and you're over here being like, meh. I am feeling that for some of you. For others, I feel like you're part of this dynamic in some way, like either they're admiring you from over here more than you think they are. That's coming through for some of you. For others, they just think you're busy and that's why you're not keeping in touch, but really it's because you're like hurting and they're kind of oblivious to that. I'm getting that for some of you. I honestly feel Or at least I'm not getting like a sense that they think that they're being snarky or mean towards you or dismissive. Like I'm feeling this genuine sense of like them feeling like you don't want to be around, but you've actually, some of you have been left to feel excluded from these people. And that's why you've got support in other areas. For others, it might be the flip side that like you have like this strong social family that isn't, related to you, and you are kind of getting a sense that they haven't been the best to you and you're getting back to your family. The people who like you know were there from the get. That's also coming through specifically for someone. Lots of stuff. Okay. What about that dynamic of grandma and elders? Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Some of you have no idea how your elders feel about you because they don't talk to you. And the fact that they don't talk to you kind of makes you feel like you... Anyway. It's like this, they haven't communicated with you at all, and so you have no idea like if they even love you. Some of you are feeling that about your parents or your grandparents, somebody who's very important to you who's older. So do they? They've been honest with you in some way. That's coming through for somebody. Hopefully it was a nice honesty. If it wasn't, we'll try to get some messages in for that. Okay, so for the most part, I feel like the thoughts that are coming in for the people that you're wondering about, your siblings, your grandparents, or your parents, I feel like their opinion is actually quite high, even if they don't communicate that to you very well. Some of you have parents or grandparents that wish you got along with your siblings better. Like they like literally wish that this is like what you were doing during the holidays, like skipping around and drinking cocoa and wearing stupid Santa hats or whatever. Like a not very realistic ideal, maybe based on where some of you are coming from. But there's always hope that there's going to be some kind of bonding here for some of you, because I do have that energy coming through. We shall see. For some of you, it's going to happen slowly. You know, that realization of like where you stand with people. But the overall vibe that your guides are giving me is that you have the people that you're thinking about. If you've resonated with this pile, they think highly of you. They love you. They want the best for you. They, all that good stuff. Even if they've said exact opposites. They could be duplicitous in a lot of ways. Okay. Yeah, but they do care about you. They do love you. All right. Some of you do have some negative people in your life that even though they care about you, they act negatively, and that's hard. And so it does make people wonder, what do they think of me? Well, they do love you very much. It's across the board. Love across the board. Just not shown very well by some. Yeah. Okay. What else? We had these collective cards about hope and good things. This little card for overall hope. And then you had the hope card. And I'm saying hope without thinking about that card, but here it is. Okay. Thank you. Okay, there's a message coming through about those of you that are having maybe an orphan holiday. And that doesn't have to be like you're during the holiday season right now. You might just be like, it's July and I like looking at Christmas things in July. I don't know if you're into that, whatever. It's still timeless across the board. I just go with the topics and not the decor. I just like to keep it festive. But anyway, um, you don't have to wait around for people and give up hope at the same time. Like, does that make sense? Like, you don't have to, you can still put yourself out there as if people aren't going to come in and do what they need to do and still keep hope that they'll change, you know, but still live your life while they figure out whatever the heck it is they're doing. Does that make sense? So for some of you, if you need that break, you know, from people in your family who, regardless of whether they're not, you know, they think about you in a sense that they love you, their actions might speak very differently. And so that's why some of you are having an orphan experience or like a little orphan side holiday, a vacation, whatever. You can still keep that hope and still like separate yourself and have your little pet Christmas or your orphan Thanksgiving or whatever it is. That can be refreshing to just take a break. Surround yourself with different people, you know. We had that support group energy, you know, so like going and getting together with people, finding out in the support group, like, hey, who all is going to be around? And let's see if we can get together and do something fun. You know, that kind of energy is coming through. And you're going to get something you want. So that's also coming through. So like overall, their thoughts, even if their actions don't match it in a lot of cases, their thoughts of you aren't that they hate you. I feel like that might still frustrate you even more. It's like, then why do you act like that? And I get that. Why do they? We can ask, why do they act that way? For some of you, it's this ideal expectation that no one could possibly live up to. Like, no matter how good or wonderful you did, they would still, like, say cautionary things like, don't screw this up, Charlotte, you know? Like, you know, or you're, like, in a really good relationship, and they're like, are you sure you're not as excited about him as you were about Brad? You know, I always say that about certain people. They always say, like, the opposite thing, or you should calm down. You weren't this excited about Brad. And remember how it went with Brad, you know? Like, no matter what you're doing, they're going to say something, like, negative. That could just be, like, their style for some of them. Others, they just set these impossible standards and, like, they like to complain. It's not, they don't love you. It's just their actions are very, I don't know, rude for some of you. Let's just call it what it is. They expect things to be, but it's like your guides are like screaming at me for those of you that have somebody that expects perfection out of you, that like it would not matter the heights that you like rose to. Like you could figure out I don't even know enough about science to say something like this, like a renewable energy source that like could provide energy for everyone and it's free, and somehow you don't get murdered for having that information, and like you just give it away to the people for free, and like everybody's like, yay, and like your parents are like, yeah, but did you have to wear that shirt? You know, like that kind of thing. It could be like that, your grandparents, whatever. Actions speak louder than words a lot of times, and that's the unfortunate part, is that these people do feel like very much, you know, affection towards you. Like they just don't show it very well in a lot of cases. But like honestly, like they feel like you're doing okay. I don't think they're losing sleep over you. I think I feel like they just run their mouths without thinking. Because Knight of Swords does that. Kind of arrogant. Family can be such a drag. But you can always take breaks. I know it's sad, like there's always that like pressure of like you don't know how long you're gonna have your family, and it's like that's true. And they really don't know how long they're gonna have me if I have to keep being around them. I'm just saying right now, like it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take a year off, or 20 or whatever you need to do, guys. You gotta do what you gotta do. Life is short. And so, but no, if you're wondering what they were thinking of you in the sense of like, do they think you're a failure, or do you think that, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing like that they love you, that you're their family, that, deep down they're not worried about what you're doing with your life. Not really. They're proud of you. Let's see what they tell other people about you. Ah! I don't feel like those are for us. Yeah, see, they speak highly of you to other people. I thought that might have been the case. And I feel like some of you are like, but why? See, and then there's that silent hermit energy with you at home. Why? It's an emotional flaw they have. Let's chalk it up to that. They're not keeping their emotional house clean, I guess is what you could say. You haven't done anything wrong, like, and they know you haven't. Their actions suck. I'm sorry. I get that. And no wonder you were wondering about them. Okay. Advice on what you should do, perhaps? Ooh. Oh, okay. Your guides are saying to remember there's people in your life. And again, there's that extra family on the side, however you have that, or just those extra pockets of family members that you get along with really well. Those cousins that you sneak away and, have a shot with in the garage or whatever. After you were 21, of course. And you get away from everybody and, have a real conversation with someone, that kind of energy. You stay up late after the older people go to bed and, watch a movie that your parents and grandparents wouldn't approve of, and, just kind of relax. This wish energy of something coming through for you is very strong. Like there's some kind of a wish fulfillment happening here that's going to be very emotionally fulfilling. So if you're feeling like ostracized again, like there's some kind of bonding that's taking place, your guides are saying to take the steps to get there is to focus on those people around you who do make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Even if you only see them for 5 minutes a day, really relish in that moment. Okay. Try to give somebody else a warm, fuzzy feeling in their belly like that. And think about brightening somebody else's day. I feel like that always goes a long way. But, do you know that what their thoughts of you, or that they do think highly of you? And if you really just have always just wanted and wished for them to accept you, that's definitely in the cards of being a possibility for happening for you. So with that, I shall leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, group 2. I apologize for the sound. I had to use my earbuds, and in my opinion, they don't really have the best mics for recording, but sorry. But it's either that or background noise, and I don't know which is worse. So you picked the little hippo, the little house hippo. I actually don't live in the country of house hippos, but we have a little critter called jackalope that reminds me of the house hippo story. So anyway, if you don't know the house hippo story, you can Google it. It's not much to it. The other thing I think of is being happy as a hippo, which is from a movie. And you would always get bonus points if you could tell me what movies. You guys really need to watch more movies. You're just missing out. Okay, so remember your collective information from before. If you did not watch that in more depth, you might want to go back and check that out. I did timestamp it for you. And so, but we will be referencing these as we go through this, person that you want to know what they're thinking of you, or what they're thinking in general. And that could be anybody from, I have my little list here to keep me on track. That could be anybody from boss, partner, crush, coworkers, family, friends, enemies, etc. Pile 1 was family, so if you're wondering about what family thinks of you, you might want to check that one out if you feel compelled, if you were drawn to the little green Christmas tree that we were looking at before. All right, we started off with this one here. Oh my, no, gross. Group 2. Okay. Falling in love, number 11. Gross, you guys. The thorns of roses rip open the heart only for thy petals to bleed into thy soul. Oh no. Okay. All right. I need to remind myself of the collective. I got a couple of calls while I was doing group 1, and so I don't remember what these say anymore. Comfort and joy are found in the simplest moments of love and connection. Okay, reach out to those who matter most. Let them know how much they mean to you. So some of you, this might be a call to reach out to somebody that you are in love with. You know, don't, if there's like a restraining order, don't do it then. Seriously, don't do it. But some of you, if you know, you know. Okay. Collective, you know, reading here. Okay. And then as the stars shine bright against the midnight sky, so do your dreams sparkle with hope and potential. Hold your dreams close and trust that the universe is aligning to make them a reality. So some of you are really hoping for love, and you're really wondering if somebody thinks maybe the same way you do. I'm feeling lots of ex vibes, like, do they want you back? Do they miss you as much as you miss them? I'm getting a lot of that energy. So if you're like not looking for a romance, you know, stick around for a second. We'll see if there's something else going on here, but that might not be your pile. This could be a crush situation. You know, this could be a coworker, depending on what your relationships are, or how you find the people you want to date. What else? Sorry if you can hear me gulping my hot drink. Got me a hot drink. Okay. Friends. Any friend vibes here? No, I'm just feeling romance. I'm gonna call it. Okay. All right. So this could be a coworker romance. This could be any kind of romance. If it's romances, that's what we're here for. You guys are gross. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, well, you got the title card. And I'm going to still take it. Because look at the cute little couple on the front. And the puppy. And the sweetness. And the barf. With the wishes coming true. And the, you know, getting what you want vibes. And the being a happy little hippo. And all of that good stuff. It kind of feels like if you're wanting to fall in love, or if you're thinking about this person and wondering if they're thinking about you and if they're in love with you too, I would definitely say this is a resounding yes. Very resounding. So congratulations. Okay. Your guys are like, now focus. Interesting. And they want you to focus. Okay, so definitely the people in this group, if you're resonating with, you're looking in to see if somebody was thinking about you the same way you're thinking about them. Definitely very true. The words on this card feel a little cautionary to me for some of you. The thorns of roses rip open the heart only for the petals to bleed into your soul. But then, you know, the collective energy is very much more hopeful. These cards are much more hopeful. And you just need to focus in some way. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, definitely reciprocal romance vibes. Let's find out what else they're thinking about with you. Oh gosh. They're thinking a lot about you. Okay. The Moon. I'm going to lay these all out before I say anything because there's a lot. 7 of Wands. 8 of Cups. Interesting. The Hermit. Okay. The Hierophant. 10 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, good news and bad, kids. I hate to break it. Good news and bad of how they're thinking about you. Okay, strong connection for sure. Lots of romance vibes, very reciprocal, and the feeling like there's like love here for a lot of you, if not all of you. Or however you're feeling about them, they're feeling the same. Reciprocal, okay. But here's the thing, and this is probably why you're watching a reading on what they're thinking about you, because you're not sure. And that would be their actions not matching what they are feeling. So I feel like there's like a weird, they pull away, but then come back in, pull away again, and then come back in, and then pull away again. That is definitely a pattern coming through. And, you know, what they think of you is like, yeah, deep connection. They can't imagine life without you. But then at the same time, they seem to be in sort of an unhealthy cycle, at least some of them in this group of, you know, and if you know, you know, like if they're not coming in and going out and coming in and going out like that, then this probably isn't a message for you. And we might have something for you in just a sec. But, yeah, lots of mixed messages is what you've been dealing with, it feels like. Your guides are being very reassuring with the energy of like, they do love you. I think that some of you are very worried about that. So that part is true. They do love you. Their actions are just not. And it's kind of interesting that group 1 also had a similar energy, but it was like more platonic family stuff. But they just genuinely wanted to know, like, does this person even, like, care about me? Do they think about me? Do they love me? You know, that kind of energy was definitely coming through. And the same thing that I'm feeling for you guys because of this pulling in and pushing away, pulling in and pushing away. I'm always trying to evolve as a person. And part of that is how I give advice, I guess. And every time I see this pulling in and pulling away, pulling in and pulling away, I just want to tell the person to run. This isn't even because, like, I know how it's going to turn out. We haven't even gotten there yet. And even if I give you a reading on how it is likely to turn out based on how it is right now, that can always change because we all have free will. But in any event, I just want to tell that person to just be like, let it just kick them to the curb. Like, you deserve somebody that doesn't come in and come out, come in and come out, no matter how strong the connection might be. Sometimes a strong connection is specifically because they came into our life to teach us that purpose, you know, to teach us that lesson that sometimes it doesn't matter how strong the connection is. If somebody's not going to go all the way for you, then there you go. Now there's all this potential that they very well could be, but for some of you that could indicate you kind of calling them out on their BS and being like, hey, do you want this or do you want this? Because I'm sick of this, like, in between stuff. And a lot of times we hold back on doing that because we're scared they're going to be like, okay, then I'm choosing this and walking away. But it's like, would you rather have them walk away or do the push-pull thing forever? See what I'm saying? Okay. You know, what will they choose? That's what's coming up for some. They want this. What they choose is up to them. You know what I mean? And, like, it's very much up in the air. Like, they're not going to know what they're going to choose until that choice is right in front of them for real. Like, for now, it seems like they're kind of teetering that line between, like, going for it and not going for it, and then going for it and then not going for it. And that kind of is so emotionally draining for you. I don't even know what it does for them. I feel like they in some respect, that my theory is that they get a little bit of something from your energy when they're doing it. It's not like they're like this evil, like, ha ha ha, I'm going to drain them of their energy. Like, they're not aware that they're doing it, but like, it's a thing that I see. It's something that I'm seeing going on here for some of you. So let that be known. But potential, people have potential to improve, to get better. Your guides are showing a lot of potential for wish fulfillment, especially during the time that you're watching this. I would say within like the next week to 10 days. But some of you are going to have to like put your foot down and be like, you know what? Champion for me, or get out of my face. You know, that kind of energy is definitely coming through. Because it is a risk to your future to let somebody, what do you call that? Is it seesaw back and forward? Oh, and I know it's hard because I do see that very, very deep connection between you. When they communicate with you, they're very good at communicating with you. There's lots of passion. But then they go silent and it rips you apart emotionally. I'm definitely seeing that for a lot of you, if not all of you. I mean, if it's, you know, opposites, like you go silent on them, that's something that we could always flip it if you need. Yeah, I feel like they do find that you are their person. Like that message keeps coming back over and over again. Like, it's a reciprocal feeling. What you feel for them, they feel for you. But this person is, with their actions, kind of messing up the energy by taking the wrong kinds of actions. And that's something that they need to change. It's something they need to stop. Whether that takes you telling them to stop or you want to wait them out and see, that's totally up to you. I don't like waiting around for people because they could keep you waiting forever, especially if they're like, oh, they're not really doing anything about it. I'm just going to keep doing things how it makes me feel comfortable. And the next thing you know, you're like, I tried for years and I'm done. And they're like, you never even told me anything was wrong. You know, that kind of energy is definitely coming through. Okay. But they, I mean, they love you. They think of you as their ideal person. Yeah. So it's a matter of, yeah, of breaking down those walls. And like, you know, I can't promise that every single person here, that every single person that we're talking about is going to choose the right choice. But if that's the case, then they weren't for you, my dear, because you're unique and special and deserve somebody to make you feel like you are, because you are. Okay. But lots of hopes. I mean, like, if you do stand up for yourself, some of you are going to get what you want, you know? If for some of you, you don't get what you want with this person, you're still in that collective energy of getting something special, regardless if that person is the one that shows up for that energy, or if you get it in some other form down the line, which is quite nice, I betcha. Let's check just to see. Yeah, see? The Emperor. I think of the Emperor as an ideal kind of person, an ideal mate. Yeah, so your guides are saying to like let go of, if that person doesn't want to step into a boundary setting with you, which is something all couples have to do at some point, then there's no sense in dwelling on, like, you know, something that can't work if there's someone that's not willing to work for you. There's some people that will be willing to stay with you forever, but never be willing to like fix anything to make life easier for you, never sacrifice anything. And that's something to really, really look out for, because they can still love you. And in a lot of cases, they can be really good at like making you feel bad if you don't do it the way they let you know emotionally they needed you to do it in a certain way, you know? It's something people need to work on if they do that. A lot of times it comes from like a place of abandonment and, you know, past hurts. And that also makes it hard to stand up to that person because you might be well aware that that's like why they do what they do. And that's not on you, though. You see what I'm saying? It's a two-way street, all that good stuff. Okay. But like I said, they can choose to do the right thing. If they don't choose it, you're still going to get the future that you want, just in a different form. And with that, I'm going to let you go. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked the cute little star Christmas tree, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I apologize for the sound. I had to put in my earbuds so that you don't hear half the stuff that's going on. And that means you have to hear me drink my drink really loud and, you know, have an annoying buzz sound or whatever that is in the background. I apologize in advance. Keep in mind your collective energy that we went over in the collective, because these popped out for everyone. We will be tying your reading to them. So these are going to be cards that tell us about who this person is or who these people are that you're wondering what they think of you. And we're just going to see what comes in for which guides and which situation. They've been keeping it pretty short and concise to one type of situation, which has been nice. Of course, now that I said that, we'll see what happens. The unknown 41. Okay. 41, it says, think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. Let it blend into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. My God. Let it bleed into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. Number 41, okay. The unknown. So, okay, the big main thing that we're seeing here is that some of you are really worried about what somebody thinks of you. We need to figure out who that person is still. Definitely getting crush vibes if you're wondering what somebody's thinking about you because you like them. Gross, but that's definitely in there. Think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. It's like driving you crazy that you don't know. And that you're thinking on it so much. Like you're thinking about it so much, your guides are saying that maybe it might make you do something that's weird. Like, not that you're weird, you know, you might do something weird. And I'm not saying this scenario applies to anybody, but it would be like, sort of like, when you really like somebody and you think about them so much that like you start thinking they're thinking about you too, but then you find out later that maybe they weren't, you know, and you're like, oh, I was totally frenzied myself into thinking that when that wasn't really what was going on. Projection is what it's called. I'm not saying that's what's happening because I'm honestly not feeling that yet, but what I am saying is that when you're overthinking and thinking about something so hard and wanting something so bad, it can tend to make you start thinking a little screwy. And like that can usually lead to some issues from time to time of perceiving what reality is actually happening. Okay. So that's definitely a message coming through for all of you. Reach out to those who matter most. I'm looking at this card up here. I feel like some of you need like a realistic perspective, an objective person, somebody that you know will tell you the harsh, honest truth no matter what. I feel like that will help you even beyond doing this reading, because I really feel like there's like a big crush situation of wondering if that person likes you, and I'm also feeling like a boss situation as well. So there is another scenario here. It's like a boss that you like are obsessed with pleasing them, obsessed with wanting them to be happy with your line of work, wanting to know that they want to keep you, that they see what you're doing, that they see that you're trying, that they, you know, that they think that you're capable, that they personally feel like they favor you a little bit, even though they might not show it, right? Definitely they don't, because you have no idea, right? This also could be somebody who has a crush on their boss. So that could be bleeding those two together, or they could be separate issues. Um, let it bleed into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. The depths of this, bearing nothing but desire. It's almost like your guides are saying to go ahead and lean into whatever fantasy you have of this working out the way you want it to. But that it also can haunt you in a way that can make you think in a little bit of a screwy way. But there's hope and potential with this card here. So like, I don't feel like it's a lost cause for everyone that's watching this. I feel like for some of you, you might be closer to getting what you want than you think. But I think there are a few of in here that maybe, you know, you're crushing on somebody who might not have even had a chance to know if they like you or not because they don't know you that well. That's like definitely coming through for at least maybe like one or two people. And we hope that they would notice us just being in the room with them like we do with them, but that's not always the case. Not all people connect that way. Okay. Ornament of love. Okay. Love is the greatest decoration you can wear in your heart. Share it freely and watch as it grows, cherishing your life and the lives of those around you. Aw. Okay. So anywho, there's a couple of messages I'm seeing in this. For some of you, like there is like a chance at love here. Whether it's with this person or some other person down the road, like you feel that energy of love around you, and that's why you're like, where is it? I need it kind of feeling is coming through. And do they feel it too? Are they feeling it too? If you've never talked to that person, like, no, they're not feeling in love with you yet. Like, they don't know you yet. And it's going to take them time to get to know you, etc. You know, that kind of, you know, put it into perspective, right? Is there potential? Of course, there's potential for all of us to fall in love, right? For some of you, you might even be closer than that. You might know them a little bit better and you have spent time together enough to think maybe they have the same feelings, but you're not sure. And there is a message of hope for some of you that is the case, that it's reciprocal. What your guides are saying for all of you to do, regardless of how this is shaking out for any of you, is to show your love for the things that you already do love outwardly. Be open about it. And I feel like that's like being open with that person that you're crushing on about your music taste. Be open with them about the movies you love, the food you like, etc. Sometimes I feel like some of you might be holding back because you're worried that their opinion of you is going to change if you're not into all the same things, or if you like something that they like have already said that they have open disdain for. They're like, I hate Rent. And you're like, oh no, I love Rent. If you know, you know. Like, it's Christmas time. I hate that movie Rent. I hate the play even more. And you're like, oh, I love Rent. Anyway, being open about what you do love, because that opens up the energy for somebody to find you that also enjoys the same things that you do. Okay. It's just opening up channels, and it also helps you lead a more authentic life. If we constantly try to put ourselves in a box of somebody that's like an object of our desire, and we're like, oh, if we can just mold ourselves into what they want enough for them to want us, then they'll really want us. That can lead us to being trapped in a prison of our own making, and they might not even want that. You see what I'm saying? So there's definitely a message of that coming through for some of you. So if you keep just liking the things you like, if you're on a track to romance with this person you're crushing on, that will just blossom more because they'll actually respect you. And I'm feeling that with the boss energy as well. Some of you may have hid like your lifestyle or your belief system or something, you know, that you felt like they wouldn't like on a personal level. And you're like, I don't want to say that out loud because then they'll think this or whatever. And I don't want them to think that or think bad of me. Your guides are saying to be authentic around your boss. So if you're like, yeah, I got excused from jury duty because, yeah, I was going to go see, you know, that one death metal band that I really like. And, you know, I realize that that's not something that, you know, Sunday school teachers usually do. but it's what I'm into, you know? And you don't even have to project it that confessionally. I feel like if you just be yourself, like be excited about the things you want to be excited about. If somebody asks you your opinion on something, feel free to give it, even if you feel like not everyone's going to agree. And for somebody that's going to draw more of that approval from these people that you're wondering what they think of you, the boss, the crush, the boss crush. Oh, and breathe. Goodness. Okay. And breathe. Lots of frenzied energy here. I feel like you're climbing a wall, wondering what this person thinks about you. Don't worry, we're going to get some tarot on more details on their specific thoughts and the specific situations. But, you know, this is just to figure out you're in the right group. So take a breath. I hope you're not having to take a breath over me being like, be yourself. You're like, be myself. Yes. Don't make me sing the song. Okay. Because you have potential. I feel like that's a big message coming through. You have potential. Surround yourself with the things that matter to you, because that will attract in the people that will matter to you more. It'll attract in people that will last, people that you won't have to sit there and wonder if you can keep them, because they're just going to be right there. Okay? That's definitely a message your guys want to hear. Okay, so what are their people thinking about them? Yeah, see, a lot of you have a reciprocal energy, like a reciprocal attraction, positive feelings towards you. These people feeling like you're an emotionally pleasing person to be around, whether that's like you're a good conversationalist, you are a good listener, all of the above. You're seen as a go-getter. You're respected by this person. Yeah, some definite reciprocal attraction for a lot of you. A lot of you. Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this is mostly a reciprocal energy. Like I don't feel like you guys are frenzying yourselves into like imagining somebody that likes you, you know, doesn't actually like you, and you're just like talking, or you're delulu talking yourself into it. I feel like there's a mutual attraction here. You know, if you're attracted to your boss, that can always come with its own little blockages, and we could look at that. Because sometimes there's, you know, rules against it, all that. Let's actually just look at that now. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuck energy with the boss if you've got a crush on your boss. If you don't have a crush on your boss, it feels like they think you're a go-getter, that you're, you know, socially, what's the word I'm looking for? Not me. You're socially skilled. There we go. That you're successful, that you overcome challenges, that you see the big picture, that you see eye to eye with them well, that you are action-oriented, okay? If you've got a crush on your boss, I am seeing some stuck energy there of them being your boss being an issue, okay? And then some of you, like, it's just a crush and they're into you as well. Like, Ten of Cups is definitely, oof. So it's like, who is who? I feel that frustration coming through. It is a general reading. Hard to say. But I'm feeling like there's, you know, there are a lot of people that this is a reciprocal thing that could lead to a lasting romance. The main energy that I feel that's stuck is the people who have crushes on their boss specifically. The rest of you, it feels a little bit more open. A little bit more of a paved way to like being respected by your boss. Everything's fine. They think of you well, etc. You know, they would like this card. If you're looking at just like what your boss thinks about you in general, you're not crushing on your boss. Like this would be them wanting you to stick around. Them wanting you to retire there, you know, that being like the last job that you have kind of stuff. So definitely want you to stick around kind of energy. Those of you who have a crush on your boss, they still are happy with your performance. There's just this attraction that they're not sure that you guys can act on. Okay. And then some of you, this isn't work related, it's just a crush. It's looking pretty reciprocal with these cards. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. This would indicate like them thinking you might be their person, them thinking that you're also fun to hang out with. You see eye to eye on things. They're attracted to you physically. They think you have a lot of admirers. So they think that like you're like a catch. Advice is to go with your instincts, to trust your gut. That goes for all of you. So if some of you are like, I better not say anything, go with that. Okay, take the time to figure out what your intuition is saying. You have time. I feel like with that frenzied thinking, some of you feel like if you don't act on this right away, that you're just going to lose this chance at love or lose this chance at understanding or connecting with your boss or impressing your boss or etc. And your guides are saying you've got plenty of time. Plenty of time to sit back, breathe, remember, and look at your intuition and figure out what you want to do. You've got time. Oh my gosh. I gotta go get that card. Yeah, again, they're saying you don't have to choose what you need to do right this second. You've got time, you've got time, you've got time. I keep hearing that. And you've got potential for this to turn out how you want it to be. Even with those of you that have that little bit of a hung up energy with the boss being the boss, things could change. You know, it's just, I feel like you deep down, you know already if it can or not. Okay. So Spirit, maybe some advice for them if they know it can't change. Okay. They're still showing that you'll be able to find closure in that somehow, that you'll find a way to be able to communicate how you feel to each other in some way. And in some way that would help you guys move on or move forward. Okay. Oh my goodness. And I get that for some of you that will create heartache for some, but if you know, you know, like sometimes we just can't get the person that we want because of like social constraints or because they don't want to break those constraints. That's not happening for everybody. Just because you have a crush on your boss doesn't mean it won't happen, but there are some people that it won't because of that constraint. It depends on what you both choose and what you decide to take on your action, because there's more at stake than just your feelings. Okay. That's going to be okay. Spirit, can you please give them some? Some of you are thinking that that person, that boss, that person that you're crushing on is selfish, and that they would always choose their job over you, and your guides are kind of saying, well, then you need to choose yourself over them. That's where your balance is. That might be what your answer needs to be, that you need to hear, regardless of what they think of you, right? Goodness gracious, the people who are wanting this and worried that it's not going to happen for them, it's like their energy is really coming out hard. It's going to be what it's going to be, y'all. It's going to be okay. Like, we get the things that we're supposed to have. Okay. Moving on to the people that it's not as stuck. Yeah, wish fulfillment, new starts. And honestly, I feel this energy for the people that, you know, are worried this isn't going to happen for them as well. I just feel like it'll come in a different form for those of you that, you know, your boss chooses to just stay your boss and not become something else. And intuitively, I think you already know who you are. But I still see that energy of finding somebody that is more available to you, that is balanced, that is that 10 of Cups energy. So I feel that coming for you regardless. That potential is still there with that collective energy that you got at the very get-go. That's not going to be like, you're not doomed to be alone forever and just like be lonesome for that person, if that ends up being a case where you don't end up together. Okay. So I want that to be abundantly clear. With the rest of you, it's like, you know, fresh new starts. 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. And again, those of you that might not be with this person you're reading about, that's okay. Like, you didn't read into it too much. They did like you too. They just might not choose to act on that liking, right? Because across the board, I'm really feeling like these are reciprocated feelings, that you weren't just a Lulu and thinking like, oh, I got a crush, but they don't even know who I am, right? I want that to be clear, okay? And yeah, I think that for a lot of you, this could be the start of something really, really fabulous, very romantic and gross. And with that, I shall leave you. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, group 4. So if you picked the little red Christmas tree, let's go ahead and look and see all about what your person is thinking about you. This could be boss, partner, crush, coworkers, family, friends, enemies. You had some collective energy that we'll be referring back to. If you want to skip back to that and watch me describe those cards in more detail, you can. It's towards the beginning in the timestamp section. You will find it. Okay. It'll be like under collective something, I'm sure. So these are going to tell us who your people are, what your situations are, so that you know you're in the right group. And then we'll get into some tarot based on what, you know, their individual thoughts are of you, and getting some advice and all that good stuff. Okay. We have bear medicine. Number 1, there is no tomorrow without the healing of the past. For in stillness, you shall find yourself right where you are. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Breakup vibes. These could be breakup vibes of a lot of different kinds. Breakups in families, breakups with friends, breakups with lovers, breakups with marriages, breakups with kids, breakups with bosses and jobs. I feel a lot of energy with this last little group 4. An ending of some sort. And this main message that's coming through is that you're very anxious to get out and move forward, to find the potential, to find the future. Like, what's coming to mind as an example is like, you know, I do calls and like telephone readings, and I have people a lot of times say, oh, I just broke up, you know, we were married for 30 years, and when do I find my person? When's the next, you know, when do I find the love of my life, kind of thing. And it's like, they just want to know how it's going to move on. They don't want to waste any time. They feel like they wasted too much time already with that last relationship, etc. Maybe, you know, and please, Miriam, tell me that it's just going to get better right away. And I'm like, there's still healing that needs to be done. That's definitely the bear medicine. You need to curl up in your cave and hibernate and heal your wounds. I'm sorry to say, and I know that that's like not what anybody wants to hear. I'm just the messenger. Okay. And I feel like, yeah, that goes across the board with whether or not this is like a breakup, if it's like a firing or a resignation, a transferring, a big lifestyle changes is what I'm feeling, like lots of loss and lots of wanting to heal and move forward. But like a lot of you haven't allowed yourself to be sad yet and really like, I'm sorry. Like, all right, I said sorry once, and now I'm going to move on. Just keep on with the messages. If you don't like it, you can always skip ahead, skip away. Go tell me to piss off in the comments and go about your lives. It's fine. Yeah, there's no tomorrow without the healing of today. Okay, there's no tomorrow without you healing for what you've lost, for what's ended. Because even if it's like a breakup and you end up getting back together somehow down the road, or they call you back to your job or whatever, things can't go back to how they were before because this has already happened. That's big tower moment. And anybody would be hurt and devastated. And I feel like a lot of you have to like kind of put on a good face and act like you're doing fine, and you just want to, and part of you feels like you are doing fine because you know that what had to end needed to end, but at the same time you haven't healed for what is lost. So like, let's say, for example, it's a terrible marriage and you know it was terrible, and now that you're out of it, you feel like you just got freed from like a 20-year prison sentence, and you just want to move forward and find your person. Okay. Your guides are saying that there's still that need to grieve whatever you lost however that looks like to you. Like for some of you, that might look like grieving not being able to grow old with somebody that you shared kids with, even though you don't want to share that person's life with them anymore, regardless of having kids with them. You still have that like dream that you had of growing old together and raising those kids. Maybe that might need to be something that needs to be worked through grief wise. That's just an example. You know, you'll have a billion examples with jobs, like for like work kind of stuff. You might need to grieve the identity of whatever person you were in that role that you were in before that you might not be in now. That's another example. Okay. If you're retiring or something and you're like, I just want to move on to my next hobby, my next enjoying retirement or whatever, they're saying that you still need to take a few moments of pause, and healing and reflection need to happen for you to kind of move forward. Okay. I feel like the thinking, what are people thinking about me? A lot of that is like tied in with the idea that you've left somewhere, or you're not with something anymore, or you're not with someone anymore. And so you're wondering what they're thinking of you. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of messages of that coming through with our tarot, and you're just going to have to hang with me and look for your snippets of messages because it's a big group. Okay. So let's move on. Midnight magic. The magic of midnight holds the power of new beginnings and endless possibilities. Embrace the unknown and trust that something extraordinary is unfolding in your life. Nice. And your guides are saying, yeah, absolutely, a reiteration. Just because you still have some healing to do before you move forward doesn't mean that you're not ever going to get these things. You just need to heal before you can have these things. Okay, these things are still coming, right? Family, okay. Some of you need to cling to family right now. I am feeling some death vibes, like maybe somebody lost a spouse. I'm also feeling like some lost child vibes. And that could be lost children in any form, like a kid having a hard time and they've like separated themselves from you in some way, even if it's an emotional way and they're still in your house. They're just not there anymore the way they were before. It could be like an actual literal physical passing. And your guides are definitely showing that you do have a lot of support in your family, some of you. If you know, you know. If you're like, no, I don't, then not your message. Some of you do have like a family of pets that are actually helping you as well with this energy, and you're surrounding yourself with that. That's a way that you can heal, surrounding yourself with your critters and your comforts. Okay, to try to just get through this. You know, it's okay to allow yourself to sit and feel sad and hurt for a while and need extra rest to get through something, even if it's just a changing of jobs. There's that part of your life is not going to be the same anymore. And then there's an allowance for that. There's a grief period for that, regardless of how small or how big a grief period is. It is what it is. There's a time for processing and accepting and all of that, grieving. Okay. So definitely loss is the main thing that I'm getting here. I don't want to get too much into all this stuff. Because I feel like we're going to do like a lot of different people type thinking things. We're just going to rapid fire give you messages as we go. Okay, so I am feeling someone that is wondering how their boss and coworkers feel now that they are not there. How do their boss and coworkers feel now that they're not there? Okay, we have 3 of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you have like some coworkers that they were very happy that you're gone. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think you know who you are, if that's the case. Like, I feel like they were, if you're like, oh, I never had an inkling that's how they felt about me, then this is not a message for you. I feel like that you're like not surprised. Of course, they cheered and toasted each other that I was gone. Okay. I don't feel like it was that. You know, maybe it was, but I don't feel like it was that extreme. But I feel like there were some people that you know deep down in your heart, like, of course they wouldn't be happy or would be happy that you're gone, okay? That's definitely coming through for some of you with the work situation. And that could be bosses and coworkers, or just coworkers, or just a boss, etc. You know, Obviously, you could take that message literally. If there's like 3 people at your workplace, that's a former workplace, that are, cheering that you're not there anymore. Okay. What else? What else are people thinking? Job stuff. Some of you, they actually are going to miss you. But they're happy to see you off, to see you on to your next journey. So I feel like for some of you, that was like they know it was time. They're cheering with you because, you're going on to something new and exciting. So there's that as well. Some of them are celebrating with you. Some of you, got a goodbye party, things like that. And in those instances, if you had a nice goodbye party and people were telling you that they really cared about you and that they're sorry to see you go, you can trust that they were being genuine. Those of you that were like, I wonder what they were thinking. They were always snotty and mean, didn't even say goodbye. They aren't thinking nice things, and they still aren't. Okay. Yeah, devil energy. Get some more. Yeah. So for those of you that had people that, maybe celebrating that you're not there, like your guides are saying that you're better off without those people in your lives, obviously. For those of you who are moving on and were actually celebrated and supported in going because they were happy for you, your guides are showing that, yeah, you're leaving at the right time, that you wouldn't want to keep yourself imprisoned and resting on your old laurels and those types of like things, that it's time for you to move forward and do something that brings even more justice to your soul, in a sense of like accomplishing more, because we always want to accomplish as much as we can, whether that's in career or just as many learning things or making cookies or whatever. It's just, we always want to strive for something more as we move forward. That's what life is all about, right? And so y'all are on the right track that have left your jobs. I'm not seeing that any of you made a mistake in leaving at this stage. And like I said, you can trust if people were not that cool to you and you're wondering what they thought of you. Yeah, not all of them had nice thoughts, and their actions kind of reflected that. Those of you who were smiled at and told you that you're going to be missed and cheered on, your guides are showing that was genuine, if you were wondering about that. Okay. Anything more for career, bosses, coworkers? Yeah, overall, I feel like people think that you're on your way to a better place. Okay. And there might be some jealousy there. But yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of people really celebrating you, group 4, when it comes to your career and how it ended, or however you are changing it, etc. and so forth. Okay. Maybe you have a new boss and new coworkers or something along those lines. If that's the case, that would be overwhelmingly positive as well, if you're wondering what they think of you. All right, let's look at crushes. Or breakups, romance. There we go. Thank you. Romance, breakups, crushes, unreciprocated endings. Okay. Some of you are in potential to patch things up with your exes. If you are not together with somebody right now because something ended, there's some kind of a healing that's going to take place. Now, if you're like, there's no way in hell, that's fine. But like, that could be like you end up bonding because you have children together or something like that, or you end up co-parenting your pets really well. I don't know. You just become platonic roommates and like you get along better than you ever did before. I don't know how that looks like to you. Those are just examples. They don't have to be for real predictions. But I'm seeing like something working out. If this is some kind of a falling out between friends, family, coworkers, like romance, I'm definitely seeing some kind of a peaceful healing between you. A healing of feelings between you, a potential. And those who don't make it into your inner circle will just sort of fall away from your mind and not be something that torments or bothers you. What they think won't bother you anymore. If it bothers you even now, it's feeling like that's already slipping away and healing as well, which is nice. Okay. What about like family some of you have some family that you know you're going to have to separate from. This could be like friend families. This could be like coworker families. But like, there's definitely some of you are taking some discernment into wanting to sort of distance yourself from somebody because of the actions they've shown you. So if this doesn't sound like something you already know that they did, then this isn't for you. But like somebody who hasn't been there for you when you need them to be, like they're kind of absent, or they're like, you know, they push you away, or whatever that looks like. And then maybe somebody who is dishonest with you. Your guides are saying that you can go ahead and trust yourself in letting those people slip away. It doesn't matter what they think. Okay. Oh, I just heard someone say, but I want to know what they think. Okay. Distant, dishonest. We'll get a little extra bonus for you. Yeah, something will come in that's more action driven towards you. Somebody will come in who's more action driven towards you. If that's like a love romance, or like a boss who is more discerning, or however that looks, a family member that, you know, and we gain family members as we move through life. You know, we get in-laws and different things depending on our different situations. Our kids have kids, they marry other kids, those kids have friends, whatever, those kids have kids, I don't know. But I'm seeing like the energy of being put on a back burner, being replaced by somebody who puts you on the front burner and keeps you on high. And then we have Page of Wands for the Seven of Swords. That would be the dishonesty. Somebody that shines that light of truth. Somebody who's just like, it's out there on their sleeve. You also have that Page of Cups of just like somebody who's not afraid to be your friend. Somebody who's not afraid to... Nope, just a second. Okay, sorry about that. So, where was I? Yeah, that page energy of like people sort of surrounding you who, or energy coming towards you, and people that is not something you feel like you have to wonder about what they're thinking because they tell you. They're so out and open about it. Okay. That was like family, friends. I'm feeling that overall your family and friends feel good about you. There's just a couple of negative people that, you know, you guys know that you have to kind of cut off. If you're like, I can't imagine who I would cut off in my friend group or family group, then not for you. But yeah, I'm just seeing like really good, like action, easy times, better energy, not wondering what people think so much. That's definitely what's coming in on your future. And I feel like a lot of that's going to come in the form of improvement of the people around you. Like, there's such a large amount of like loss energy or change energy with this group where it's like, I feel like a lot of you are kind of moving on to like a new type of family, a new type of friend group, a new type of like career. And your guides are definitely saying that you're on the right track there. And that, you know, what they're thinking, the people that you've left behind. Let's go ahead and take a couple looks at that. We kind of already saw the boss and the coworkers pretty fully, but let's look at partners a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot with like breakups of partners or breakups of friends or breakups with family, or even not a breakup, but distancing, that like they kind of know. They know deep down like that they did the wrong things, and that you know, picked up on their deception, or you called them out on something in some way, and you shined a light on them in some way. Yeah, and I feel like there's going to be healing for a lot of you, especially with like old relationships, family, and like partnerships kind of reshaping into something new, you know, something more peaceful and healed, and something that's still meaningful, but just different from what it was before. And the same thing with work, you know. Yeah, healing of heartache. But like there's still that healing that needs to happen, y'all. Remember way back when it was talking about how that bear medicine you needed? Okay, so you're on your way to King of Wands, King of Swords, King of Pentacles, but like you still need to take that time to be sad about what's ended. So, you know, do some timed crying in the shower, whatever it is you need to do. Do some EMDR scribbling, whatever works for you. to get kind of back into the saddle of, yeah, enjoying what's coming in that's going to be wish fulfillment and good times. Just like your collective energy was saying. Yeah, but there's still some emotions that you're going to have to work through. And it's okay to have feelings. I don't know. And I'm going to stop there because I know you. Yeah, I know you know. And it's going to suck for the people it's going to suck for. But that's where you're at. Okay. As far as what others were thinking about you, like, it looks overwhelmingly like there's not a lot of people that are thinking badly of you. Even if you're leaving them in the dust, they kind of know what they did. And so, you know, with the exception of those few people at that like last job that, you know, they're like, yay, they're gone or whatever. Like that was just a few little persnickety, snarky people that we don't need to worry about. The rest of you, it seems like people are pretty much at peace with you, emotionally okay with you, etc. And, you know, willing to move forward in a lot of cases, willing to evolve in some cases. And so that's also very, very nice. And with that, I shall leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.